Hi everybody, my name is Ashley and welcome to my channel. If you don't know me, which you probably don't because I don't have any videos yet, you probably don't know that I am bipolar. Yes, I have bipolar disorder. This is something that took me many years to find out actually, which is kind of ridiculous. And that's kind of the journey that I wanted to talk to you about today. I have No, I don't have that. Okay, well, I don't have any notes. Anyways, I just want to make this video so that people understand that they're not alone. I will start with the beginning, I guess. I've kind of always felt it, depression, anxiety, as long as I can remember, which is kind of weird. I have memories of being as little as 5 or 6 and having my friends leave, and the second that I was all alone again, just feeling this terrible emptiness, this awful feeling in my stomach. I recognize that now a lot of the time as depression and anxiety. But I felt those things even when I was very small. Just that awful sinking feeling in my gut, and I still feel it, and I have no words for it, other than I know that it's my depression and my anxiety. If you have mental health issues, you probably understand that there's just no way to describe it unless you feel it. Anyways, when I was about 14, I had someone urge me to get help because I had been self harming from the time that I was about 12. Um, at 14, it reached pretty bad, not the worst that it had gotten, but it got pretty bad, and there's my cat. So I had someone urge me to get help, someone very close to me, someone that I really admired, and I asked my mom for help. I told her that I thought I was depressed. I couldn't even tell her in person because I was too scared and anxious of what she might say, so I told her in a text message. And that's fine. Any way that you can reach out and get help is going to be beneficial for you as long as it's safe. And luckily for me it was, and my mom did get me help, and I was able to see a therapist briefly. It was not helpful at the time. And then I was seeing a psychiatrist when I needed to, kind of, not really very often either. And I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder and major depressive disorder, and I was prescribed Zoloft for the depression and Trazodone for the anxiety and to help me sleep, I guess. Neither of them really helped. I don't know if it was because I wasn't taking them frequently enough. I was a teenager and I probably wasn't taking them very well as prescribed. And my mom didn't make me take them either, so I just probably wasn't taking them very well anyways. But they didn't help. I'm not going very into depth in about my self-harm story in this video. If anyone wants to hear about that, let me know, and I'd be more than happy to make a more in-depth video about self-harm. I just don't feel it necessary to get into it in this video. But I do want to talk more about it if you would like to hear more about it. Anyways, I stopped taking my medication probably around the time that I was about 16, and I just kind of dealt with everything on my own. But recently, I am 22. Recently, it has become too much, and I've been seeing a therapist probably for around 6 to 8 months now, and very frequently, weekly. Maybe not, I mean, I don't go every week because I'm too depressed, but I'm scheduled to go weekly, and I see a psychiatrist when I need to. So the way that I got diagnosed as bipolar was that I found out that my uncle is bipolar, my aunt's bipolar, and a few other people in my family we thought were bipolar. So once I realized that, I went and I told my therapist again. I did have a manic episode, and I told her I think I'm bipolar again, because I had thought it before. My moods are very cyclical, but once the mania was over, I didn't think anything of it, and I just thought it was just depression. So for a long time, it went undiagnosed as depression. So recently, I turned 22 in July. Recently I realized that it was just too much for me, and I wanted to try to cope using medication and therapy. So I started going to therapy weekly, and I started seeing a psychiatrist as needed. She also diagnosed me with generalized anxiety disorder and major depressive disorder. And I did even mention that I thought I was bipolar because my partner and I had noticed that my depression was very cyclical. But she wouldn't listen to me because my mania only lasts a few days sometimes, and that wasn't long enough for her. So, that's, by the way, that's not true. Mania can last any period of time, as well as you can have mixed episodes. You don't have to be purely manic. You can have depressive symptoms, and you can have rapid switching of your manic and depressive symptoms. So it's really not as black and white as people think, just so you know. If you experience something like that and your psychiatrist or some professional tells you that that's not normal, it is. It's normal. It's okay. It might be a different type of bipolar, but it's okay. It's still bipolar. If you experience mania and depression, it's bipolar. You only have to experience one manic episode to be diagnosed bipolar. Go to your psychiatrist and have a psychiatrist check you. Anyways, what am I saying? So recently I started going to therapy once a week and seeing a psychiatrist as needed. She also diagnosed me with generalized anxiety disorder and depression, major depressive disorder. So she put me on Wellbutrin XL, which was terrible. It made me lose a lot of weight. I only weigh like 89 pounds, and now I weigh about 78 pounds. So that was terrible. It curbed my appetite. And then it made me way more depressed and way more manic. And so then she put me on Lexapro, and that didn't work either. And then finally I told her I think I'm bipolar. At that point I found out that a couple people in my family are bipolar, so I told her that, and she was like, okay, well, let's take the test. And she gave me just a one-page written test. I took it, and 100%, and she said, oh yes, you're bipolar. And this is what happens for a lot of people. It just goes unnoticed, because a lot of the times the mania is hypomania, which is not quite to the extreme of mania. It's just a little bit lower. You're not doing quite extreme activities. You're just kind of elevated. You're still, you're maybe cleaning a lot more, cooking a lot more, talking a little bit fast, things like that, but you're not necessarily going to the extremes that mania usually entail. But I found that I can experience full-blown mania, and I can also experience hypomania. So I'm not sure. I just know that that's my experience, and no healthcare professional can invalidate that. Nobody can invalidate that for me. And if that's your experience, then nobody can invalidate that for you either. So yeah, now after the Lexapro and being diagnosed bipolar, I finally was put on Latuda. I was on Latuda and then the max dose of Latuda for a few months, and it still wasn't helping. So now I was still too depressed, and so now I am on Abilify and Remeron for the depression. So, and hopefully to help me gain some weight back, because it's supposed to help with eating and sleeping as well. So yeah, my goals right now are really to just create a community and have a better community and a better circle in my life. I can't find that in where I am right now, and so I'm reaching out to you guys. I want to make friends with you. I want you to be here for me. I want to be here for you. I want to talk to you guys when I need to talk, and I want you guys to be able to come to me when you need something as well. So my inbox is open, my comments are open, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it helped you understand a little bit more, helped you feel a little bit less alone. I just wanted to share my story and get my story out there. This is not my full story. I also have stories about sexuality and coming out as pansexual or bisexual, whatever term you really want to use. Or I also have a history of self-harm, so I can get into that if you would like to hear about that. But I just wanted to keep it short and sweet and just down to the basics. I also really love plants, animals, cats, dogs. I have plenty of animals. I have plenty of plants. I love makeup, and I love video games. So if you guys would love to see any of that stuff as well, please let me know, and I would love to do more videos for you guys. Whatever you want to see. I just have wanted to do YouTube for so long, but I've been too insecure, and I finally felt like this was the time because I'm manic, and I just felt like this was the time. So here we are. Thank you so much for coming to this video, and I hope you stick around, maybe watch another video if I have one. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Love you. Bye.